inside of you.
Hi guys, it's Elena and I'm enchanted to have you be here on my channel. Hello and welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here again. If you're new and this is your first video watching, please start off with the first section or the first video of this series. I will link it down hopefully at the top and definitely down in the description just to help guide you along with the videos. Since the basis for majority of these lessons and videos is going to be regarding magic, I want to get into and explain a little bit what magic is. But before we continue on with today's lesson, I want you to take a moment and to write these things down, either in a journal that you've already procured as per the last video, or if you haven't gotten one yet, just somewhere in a piece of paper, something that you can slide into your future journal. So I want you to go ahead and write down what you think magic is and what you know about it so far. So go ahead, pause this video, take a moment and just jot down your thoughts. No, actually pause the video and jot down your thoughts. Alright, since you've done that, let's talk about what is magic. I have my handy dandy device over here to give you the direct definition. So there are a couple basic definitions. We have magic is the power of apparently influencing the course of events by using mysterious or supernatural forces. We have magic is mysterious tricks such as making things disappear and appear again, performed as entertainment. Then we have magic is a quality that makes something seem removed from everyday life, especially in a way that gives delight. And lastly, we have magic is something that has a delightfully unusual quality. So here those are directly from Google to give you a direct explanation of what magic is. But my definition? Magic is everything. Plants, people, cooking, music, the sunrise, birth, death, so on and so forth. To me, magic is a science that hasn't been really explained yet, although a lot of it has been. And a lot of it has been kind of proved as well. I'll get into that stuff later. And a good quote from John Beckett is, "Science teaches us literally what paganism expresses poetically." And hopefully that kind of makes sense a little bit. I'm glad like my hands are below the camera frame because they're just kind of going crazy, so you just get to see a little bit of like the chicken wing. So hopefully it's not too distracting, because I know sometimes this could be distracting. I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum, but I do like to express myself with hands a little bit. Alright, so think about this as my hands go crazy. 40 years ago, computers did not exist, especially not cell phones. So I want you to think about it and go back 100 years in time and try to explain to someone what a cell phone is and what a cell phone does. I don't think that will go over very well. All of our electronics run on crystals, minerals, and electricity. I mean, electricity is such a normal and ordinary staple in our every single day life, but before it was a phenomena that did not occur in a controlled form that we have today. And other things to think about it. Medicine is a health potion. Journaling is practicing mindfulness and meditation. Music can be considered emotional and energy changing spells. Just think about it. And I can go on for days to come up with correspondences and correlations in those fashions, turning normal terminology that we experience today on a day-to-day basis into something magical and witchy woo-woo, so to speak. So I'm going to explain something to you in like a magical or mystical term, like a spell or a recipe to do something, and I want to see if you can guess what it is. I have a little paper over here so that I can express myself properly. So, Gather black rocks from the bottom of the sea. Use giants to smash to dust. Use dragon's breath to melt rock dust, charcoal, and sand until the rocks bleed. What do you think that is? That's a funky way of describing how to make metal. Here's another one for you. Gather fine white sand from the shore. Use dragon's breath to melt. What do you think that could be? Glass. You use sand to melt. You melt sand to make glass. And last one. Gather tree sap and dandelions. Make a potion in a large kettle by slowly boiling. Store for later use. Can you guess what that one is? It's a basic explanation of how to make rubber. So there are so many things that we experience nowadays that is magic. So in short, everything around us is magic. You are magic, and hopefully I can show you how to manipulate it to your advantage. Now let's go back to what you wrote down initially. Are there any similarities, differences than to what I've gone over? Do you have a different understanding or perspective of what magic is now? Feel free to think about these questions and write them down just so that you can track your progress. And you want to know what's really cool? I am 100% certain that you have already practiced magic in your everyday life, whether you realized it or not. So this concludes our short and brief lesson for today. Hopefully this gives you something to think about. Your homework is to continue looking for that perfect journal if you haven't gotten one already, and a couple things to think about, ponder on, meditate over, and kind of write down as well to go alongside with the other questions that I've asked throughout the video. Has your view on what magic is changed? Why or why not? I want you to come up with another example of turning something ordinary and common that we know and love today into a magical explanation, a more of a witchy woo-woo explanation, and try to tell that witchy woo-woo portion of it to somebody else and see if they can guess what you're talking about. I also want you to think of an example or a few examples of times that you've practiced magic without really realizing it. And I want you to kind of write down your thoughts on it and kind of what your thoughts were about it then versus now, if your kind of understanding of things changed. Alright, so that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little short brief introduction as to what magic is, and I hope the rest of your day is wonderful and magical and filled with all good things. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video. Many blessings.